All right, quick look at the pollen outlook, courtesy of Allergy and Asthma Center of Western Colorado. You can see the bars still high, not as high as it's been for the trees. They are slowly, I might emphasize slowly decreasing. Grass is also on the increase right now as we move into the end of May and early June, right around the corner. And we're getting into a more active pattern. Now, we still have a couple more days of this outlook. Partly cloudy skies, storm clouds building up over the mountain zones. Not much to it. We're going to get a next couple of days with breezy conditions. We do hang on to a chance tomorrow that cloud coverage around the Montrose and Delta area could affect our high temperatures. Let's talk about that for a moment. Right now, we're mid-80s at Grand Junction and Delta, low 80s right now at Montrose. It is official. The high temperatures are out for the day. Look at that. Delta got into the 90-degree club. That is hot. Upper 80s for Grand Junction, mid 80s for Montrose. Now, this is today. Look what happens tomorrow. We lower the temperatures at Delta and at Montrose because of that increased cloud coverage later in the day. So there's also a slight risk that we could see some storm clouds. Now, more than likely, you'll see lightning off in the distance. You'll probably see some rain, Virgo, falling out of the sky, but not making it to the ground, and you'll likely get a little breezy. Know this. When lightning is moving across the sky, and it's mostly been cloud to cloud, it hasn't hit the ground yet, but when lightning is in the area, that's a high risk. That's a danger. In fact, it's one of the more dangerous aspects of Colorado in the months of June and July. Injuries and fatalities are the highest during those months. So please, especially if you hear thunder, National Weather Service has an easy saying. Thunder roars, go indoors. Wait 30 minutes after you hear that clap. It will save a life, especially athletes out on the field. So I suspect as we get towards the end of this week, the Junior College World Series games right here in Mesa County, there could be a chance that we'll see a rain delay, especially in the late afternoon, early evening timing. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, susceptible. Just thought I'd mention that. Breezy conditions, 10 to 15, not really. I mean, I can't feel a 15-mile-per-hour breeze if I'm walking through the neighborhoods, but if I'm in an exposed area, yeah, absolutely. A little bit of wind helps move some of that warmth around. Top gusts of the day for Delta Montrose, right around the 25-mile-per-hour zone, near 20 for Grand Junction. Most of the rain, well, not in our areas officially, but we're still doing good. We still have drying conditions around the area. We still have a surplus of rain in the gauge. We're looking at more than 4 inches of rain total for the year at Grand Junction, right around 3.5 inches total rain for the year at Montrose. Again, we have a surplus, and later this week into the upcoming weekend, we have better chances for rain showers. Now, the warm temperatures, the increase in rain, that continues to make our area waterways a threat. Very real and dangerous threat. I've seen the water rescue crafts. Now, they're using this opportunity to practice in very swift and dangerous waters, but they're also having to go on rescue calls. And we have this long weekend right now, and I am sure, I've heard the scanner in the newsroom, lots of rescue craft in the waterways moving around. Thankfully, I haven't had any sad stories, and we haven't relayed any of that either. Radar for the Grand Valley, quiet right now, partly cloudy conditions. That'll continue tonight. A little bit more sunshine tomorrow, but increased cloud coverage for the Uncompahgre Valley. So Delta Montrose, we will be looking, as I said, for those darker clouds to produce, at best, some gusty winds and some lightning. Light rain making it to the ground? Not hardly. Most of the activity, spotty, isolated, off towards our east. We still are under this southerly influence, just like last week, though that severe threat has eased somewhat well to our east. This is going to continue a little bit tomorrow. That's one of the reasons why I've highlighted some of those storm clouds around the Delta and the Montrose area. We're still under this ridge of high pressure. This is our dominant weather pattern. So it's keeping us relatively dry, relatively quiet, but by the end of the week, it gets nudged off towards the east, courtesy of the low pressure system. Now, this low pressure system is not actually on land yet, still off the west coast, but it's going to shuffle in, and in doing so, that's going to reintroduce our moisture inbound from the west coast. We'll also probably see some moisture influence from the Gulf of Mexico creeping past the divide. Regardless, it's a pretty decent shot at rain all the way through the weekend and into the beginning of next week. Doesn't mean it's going to rain all afternoon, all morning. It does mean we're going to see some of those storm clouds bubbling up and moving across the area. We will lower our temperatures a little bit to the averages later this week, but in the meantime, we're running warmer than the average for Grand Junction. Now, we do take a temperature hit for the next couple of days for Montrose. I talked about that. I think this will be the third time I mentioned the clouds coming in tomorrow afternoon. It's not a slam dunk for rain showers, but we do look for increased chances beginning tomorrow afternoon, but significant jump in those chances for the late week and the upcoming weekend period. That puts us for the first weekend of June. We should be seeing that full moon this time, well, middle of next week. But until then, enjoy some of this. Be careful with the warmth. It's going to catch up on you if you don't hydrate. And of course, you need that sunblock.